Yeah, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the way that we treat morals and ethics in America in general. One cannot deny the Christian influence, specifically the Puritan influence, on the way we look at ethics. That has influenced American culture as it has evolved, even when it becomes more diverse, especially more diverse in religion. And that puritanical worldview is essentially, if you don't do the things on the list that make you a bad person, and you do the things on the list that make you a good person, then you're a good person. And you are a more moral and ethical person if you do the things on the good list even more and the things on the bad list even less. And so even if Americans nominally hold a secular worldview, they tend to narrow down ethics into this question of, are you doing the things on the good list, and are you not doing the things on the bad list? This is why AI discourse is so very frustrating, because yes, AI is being used for some pretty bad things that are screwing over a lot of creative people. But when you filter that through the puritanical worldview, it just becomes AI bad. The less you have to do with AI and the more you hate AI, the better a person you are. But the problem is that doesn't address the issue. That doesn't address corporations taking advantage of artists, for example. In fact, it leaves the corporations to run amok and use AI for the most nefarious purposes that they like, because the people who would regulate it are not interfacing with it because AI bad. And we see this in other discourse as well, like, the whole Chapel Roan blow up when she said she wasn't endorsing Kamala Harris. She is voting for Kamala Harris, but she just said that she wasn't going to endorse her because she did not agree with all of her policies, specifically the ones about genocide. But political discourse has been filtered through that puritanical worldview to supporting Kamala Harris good, not supporting Kamala Harris bad. And so even if you're a leftist, even if you plan to vote for her, if you say anything that questions her, people start thinking you're a bad person because you aren't doing more things on the good list and not doing things on the bad list. And so Chapel Roan got fucking harassed for just saying she doesn't endorse a candidate that she's still going to vote for. A more nuanced view on ethics would ask, what are the effects of the behavior that you are doing? Whether or not you are a good person doesn't actually matter in the long run in greater ethical conversation. The point of ethics is to not rack up the good person points and get into the good place when you die. Again, that's the puritanical view. The point of ethics is to partake in behaviors that make life better for everybody, and not partake in behaviors that make life worse for everybody. That's why people don't like it when you point out that, there are types of AI that can make certain types of scientific research a lot safer, or there are certain types of AI that are letting people with shut-in syndrome actually be able to speak and communicate. Because it complicates the issue. It turns things from the puritanical, here are the good things, here are the bad things, to now we have to think about what our behaviors are and what consequences those behaviors bring. And unfortunately, one person isn't going to fix that. Like I said, that is really hard baked into American culture, really hard baked into Eurocentric culture, and that, unfortunately, is the culture that screams the loudest on social media platforms like this. But in the end, that loud screaming doesn't mean a whole lot. Because 2 years ago, when I told people, hey, don't harass disabled people who are using AI to help with their disability, I got, massively harassed for it. But that doesn't reflect on me, because my friend Stray just got massively harassed for using his wife's Costco card. He was harassed because supporting Costco good, not supporting Costco bad. So it doesn't take a lot to get someone harassed. We have a lot of work to do in terms of ethical self-awareness, especially in this country and especially on the internet.